Nakore Apparel is a lifestyle brand inspired by and created for those who unabashedly seek, speak, and live in truth. Nakore is the African Adinkra symbol for truthfulness, and the clothes speak truth in all its forms with the ultimate aim of love and justice. If you're down to expand the culture, break barriers, and eradicate injustice wherever you find it, then Nakore Apparel is the brand for you. Go to NakoreApparel.com. That's N-O-K-O-R-E Apparel.com.
Nakore, apparel for truth tellers.
You are now tuned in to the Drunk Mind Sober Thoughts Podcast.
Yo, what is going on? This is DJ Brainstorm on the mic with you right now. Coming to you live and direct, episode 345 of the Drunk Mind Sober Thoughts Podcast, the DMST Podcast. It's back. Back with the live show, the dual feed, Facebook and YouTube, because it was just me last week trying to work the board, and I ain't as technical as Dev, so I only did the one. I only did Facebook last week, but no Playboy, no Ulysses this week. Ulysses is in Detroit this week, I think, for a show.
Just the two of us.
Yeah. Basically,
we can make it if we try. Just
basically,
the two of us.
Dev, what's going on? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling a lot better than last week, man. A lot better than last week. Was, you got a little sickness going on. You know, Cleveland is notorious for not letting us really enjoy spring when it's springtime. I feel like that old what was that, Comic View stand up. Well, like, the baby can't have no Christmas. It's Christmas time. Like, can't have no spring.
No, we don't.
It's springtime.
We don't get it up here. It almost feels like every year it feels like it goes from being cold to then it's like all of a sudden it's hot in the summer.
Yeah.
So yeah,
man.
And the weather don't know what it want to do right now.
Yeah. So somehow this Teflon got broken and I got sick. You know what I'm saying? I don't usually get sick like that, but
how long was you down?
Man, I was sitting around like last Friday. And it was like middle of the day. I always take my tart cherry juice and I drunk it, and my throat was a little raw,
like scratchy.
And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And then it just progressed from there. So it was like Friday, Saturday, late Saturday into Sunday, it was the worst. Mm-hmm. And then Sunday into Monday was pretty bad too. But my medicine started helping out a little bit. Then life happened, and so I had to like function while being sick, and then I just kind of forced myself to push through the rest of the week. So the first couple of days of the week, I wasn't all the way right, but I had to do what I had to do. So, but yeah, man, how you feeling?
Oh man, I'm good, man. It's crunch time for the wedding, so I'm good. Tomorrow's May 1st, and with tomorrow being May 1st, that means only 2 full months to go. So a lot of our stuff is going to be paid off this month with everything, and if not this month, early-ish into June or so, early to middle of June. So it's crunch time with everything right now. So everybody I keep running into, and everybody kept, I was at my parents yesterday, and my aunt was up here from Akron. And she was asking, how I feel, you're about to be married and things like that. And it's just like, I mean, it's everything is so crunch time right now, and just, there's no room for error with a lot of things right now. So I'm personally starting to feel that crunch. Even with us, we just doing little small. Yesterday, just pulling stuff out of boxes and getting things together for the venue, and I missed some of that because I had to go to my parents, but. But just, it's just everything's crunch time right now. That's the best way to say it. Everything's crunch time. The finish line is really within view.
It's getting there.
Really within view. Yeah, the whole crunch time, and then all the little stuff that comes up, last second of, so and so maybe needs this, and so on, they maybe need that. So it's just it's one of those things where it's you know, you start to just look around and be like, all right, yeah, this shit is here. It ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be here in a second. You know, you've experienced it. You know, it's gonna be here. So, yeah, people gonna be here. People gonna be pulling up. People need the hotel information. People need a million different things. So, you know, yeah.
That was. I mean, yeah, that's a beast. That's a beast. Good luck, Godspeed. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that is a beast. That is a beast. That was, I have to be honest, one of the perks of going to Las Vegas and telling niggas see y'all when y'all get here. Mm-hmm. That was one of the perks. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because when it came to that, it was just like, get your flight, get here. Mm-hmm. But I know these next 2 months are gonna be 2.5 months.
It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different.
Yeah, and the messed up part is you're gonna be excited for the bachelor party, but that shit is gonna come at the last minute. Yeah. And you'll be like, God, I don't have 5 days to fuck off.
Yeah, you know,
right now.
My thing with that is I really would have preferred it to be a little earlier.
Yeah, or it got to be the night before, and it got to be where you at.
I didn't. Yeah.
I mean, it's only because it'd be so much shit going on. You'd be like, damn, I got to just unplug for 5 days.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be in Vegas on the phone with like caterers and shit. Watch.
Man,
what?
You know, I will say this much. You know, it's just like I thought about it today, where it's like, all right, if we gonna be in Vegas, like, should we mask up a little more heavy than what we normally would because because everything's the following weekend?
Well, I wasn't feeling good. I took 2 COVID tests and I ain't had COVID, so I feel like.
I mean, that was me a couple weeks ago. I was sick for over a week. I was sick for a week and a half. Yeah. And I took 2 COVID tests too. The same thing, you know. But I'm like, all right.
I still got 3 in the car if you need one. You know what
I might take an extra one. But it's just one of those things.
I'm gonna have to catch COVID again to wear a mask. I'm being honest with you. The problem is you do it too every day. You probably okay with it. The problem was for 3 years being in a school and just having to wear a mask every day. I'm just
you've done it more than me, yeah. When I was in the doctor's office, yeah.
Just over it, man. I
sitting in this place for 8 to 9 to 10 hours and having the mask on, yeah.
I'm just over that shit, man.
In Cleveland Clinic and UH, and Metro, we all just dropped our mask policies within the last week or so.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
maybe that's why they went
last
on
week.
It.
Yeah.
Oh, they went on. I went to go pick up my prescription.
Yeah. I had to go take my laptop to work about a week ago and get a new one because mine was acting up. And I went in there, I had my mask on, and I'm watching everybody walking around. I'm like, okay, why do I got my mask on? And I didn't know that. I missed the announcement that they had dropped the mask.
That was on Monday last week when I had to go get my prescription. I walked in. I was like,
but
I had one on still.
Cleveland Clinic, Metro, UH. That's what I said. So like with Vegas, I'm like, should we be out there with a mask on a little bit more? Just because because like we, right now it's 4 of us doing a concert on that Friday. Like, should we be out there with a mask just to be a little safer?
I think we'll be all right, man.
I think so.
I love you. Listen, I ain't wearing no mask, man. All right.
Look, what we gonna do? Beat Dev down? What is 5 of us got to jump on Dev's big head?
Put a mask on.
Yeah. So what's gonna happen? But I mean, it's look, we ain't gonna be out there doing nothing outrageous anyway. So it's like I think we should be good. It's kind of. It's no different than if we were in Cleveland doing something for a couple of days and going out. Like, we're going to be around the same amount of people in a sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. But on the plane, I might put it on a little bit on the plane just because it's recycled air. Yeah. I might do it on the plane a little bit more. But once we get out there, we got our own rooms. Obviously, it ain't like we stand in the something crazy. So, yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Like I said, other than that, man, it's just that's it. Yeah. How was the week? Well, you got 2.5 weeks.
Man. It's been crazy. We talked about it with the car stuff, man. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, but I got some other stuff I want to talk about.
Yeah.
The last couple weeks, stuff that I've yeah. I wish everybody was here for this one because people gonna have a lot to say about the other shit. But had some issues with my car, and they giving me the run around at dealership. Basically, right now I got a rental car. Waiting to hear back on if the warranty company will approve to get the car fixed. That's really where I'm at. If not, you might see me, I'm buy a Rolls Royce something. No, I'm joking. I'm buy something, man.
I mean, I was watching Friday yesterday. Debo had the beach cruiser.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I might have to get down with, man. But yeah. So it's just been a hassle. It's been damn near 2 weeks. So just a little annoyed and frustrated with the whole process. But hopefully it gets. You get a little bit of a resolution here pretty soon. But I was out sick last week. No COVID, but just sick. But I made some, like you made a comment when I was coming in. I'm still dealing with the still dealing with recovering from my injury, my surgery, and dealing with other health issues. So I made it's to a minimum. I mean, obviously there's some things you have to keep in your diet in order to help your body run smooth. But all the stuff I've been dealing with for these years, you know what I'm saying? Like I have a knee hurting 1 week or a foot. Mm-hmm. And the one thing I didn't want to give up was sugar. And they said high fructose corn syrup, and sugars and saturated fats is the number one cause. Yeah, red meat and all the other kind of shit you need to give up. And that's what that was kind of the easy route. So I am currently on 9 days of no sugar. It was easy. It was like the sickness came at the perfect time. Because it was last Friday morning. I started getting sick and I had stuffiness. I couldn't smell. So the crazy thing about having congestion is you're not really you don't crave anything because you can't taste nothing. I just need something to make my stomach not growl. So for the first 5 days of no sugar, I didn't crave nothing.
Yeah.
And it was almost perfect. Even when I got back to school, and I'm in a school, now you can get whatever candy you want on demand in the school.
All you got to do is knock a kid down.
Or go into a classroom, open a drawer, and get you some. But I'm on 9 days, no sugar. And then, we was talking about all this financial stuff with the car and all this kind of. We had some stuff to. So let me give you my testimony because I was supposed to go to the Lord's house today, but I ended up not going. Ended up oversleeping. We had to get breakfast and stuff. It just ended up not being. And plus, I want to prove to myself it's a lot.
You know your heart.
But I'm sitting there and I needed some stuff to kind of fall through before payday, and I had got this, I had this card coming in the mail, and I'm like, all right, I need that because I get paid in a couple days. You know what I'm saying? And I said a little prayer in the car, and because I was in this mindset of giving up sugar, I'm like, all right, I got to commit to giving up something of value. You know what I'm saying? Like people say all that stuff all the time. And so how do I put it in PG-13 terms? I committed to giving up any adult materials if the man upstairs looked out.
No pH?
Nope.
No pH?
So I'm sitting there. Yep. So I'm driving and I'm like, all right. I'm not on some if, but I'm also on some like, hey, if you look out for me, I got you. So the messed up part about my brain is if I say something and start doing something, if I say something about doing something, I can't go back on it. Like I already said it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So I get home, and it was supposed to be delivered in the mail, the card or whatever. I get home, it's no card in the mail. And I'm like, dang, man. But I was still going to be okay to just do normal stuff. But I'm like, I made the little commitment, man, but I need the card. And the card was only for $500. It's like this card I got that if you pay on time for 7 months, it doubles your limit, and then you pay it again for 12 months, it doubles that limit. You know what I mean? I've reached a point in rebuilding my credit where they trying to look out for me. So it wasn't a whole lot. It was just, sometimes you need a bumper to the neck till payday. I'm like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'll still be good no matter what. Just wanted to do something specifically that day that I was going to push it the next day. Man, so I'm getting ready to get dinner. I'm like, all right. But it was one of them times like, all right, depending on what's in here is what dinner going to be. So I crack open my phone, go to my account. We've been working Leah's been in her job since April last year. I've been in my job since July of last year. We have Huntington. We used to get paid 2 days early. We haven't been getting paid 2 days early since she started and since I started. This is a Wednesday. We used to get paid Fridays. So we have been getting paid Thursdays though, but this was Wednesday. So I get there, I crack it open to see what was going on. I'm talking about, I don't want to give it away, but I'm fretting over nonsense. It's like thousands in the account because we got paid 2 days early.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like you asked these questions, like you had these real honest conversations with the man upstairs. and you like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to get some little dumbass credit rebuild card just so you can make it through for a couple days. And he's like, no, I'm going to go ahead and give you y'all checks. Mm-hmm. And you like, nah, I got to give up the PH now. Because he came through on the cup running over side of the game.
He was on the line.
Man, he was on the main line. You open your phone, you like, what everybody want for dinner? You know what I'm saying? Lobster, scripts.
Scampi, what is it? What do you want? You want the butter? You want the real butter or the fake butter that they give you at Red Lobster?
You want honey butter with your lobster? Yeah. But no, man. So like it really did. So like that's the commitment. I don't know how long or what it means, or if it'll go on forever or for life. But I'm like,
so you want a break right now?
I think I don't. My whole concept behind it was like, what's the reason? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a conversation I ain't gonna get into a couple weeks ago about that whole industry and what it's turned into, and I think that got the ball rolling. And I'm just like, it started to beat, like the kids say nowadays, it started to get the ick around that whole industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's turned into a legit, like, you used to be able to go out with your dudes and go to some little hole-in-the-wall strip club, get a couple $5 lap dances and go home.
Be happy.
Like, nowadays, these people trying to, like, it's an industry. You might as well be, might be in a car fix the way they trying to do this. And it's just.
Yeah, it's completely different from what it used to be back in the day, yeah.
And so it's just like, I don't know.
It was more upstanding back in the day.
Yes, it's
now it just feels like you feel like I just gotta take a shower.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I don't really see the point and purpose of it. Not like that, because people can do what they want to do. I'm not trying to. It's just something that I vowed to do, and then the like. Whatever you ever had, I don't know if you ever done that before. I've done it a couple times. Like, I've never had that blatant of a immediate response to an honest conversation between myself and the man upstairs. That was as blatant and as like, all right, you said it. I'm gonna hit you with this cup and run it over. Now, what you gonna say?
All right,
because it wasn't that, obviously we was gonna get paid the next day, but it was the fact that it was available at that point when you don't think it's gonna be. So, so yeah, man, that's my last 2 weeks has involved, and I mean, no sugar and no pH, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to just on that part, but with the no sugar thing, I've been trying to do better. Diet wise, and trying to exercise. It's you have to get into it. You have to force yourself, and then once you force yourself, you have to continue to force yourself into it. It really becomes that habit. And my problem with things is that I'll force myself and I'll go for a day or maybe even two, and then I'm done for like a week or so, and then it's like, all right, you go back, and it's just it's tough right now to pick. I mean, like we're both, me and Carlisha have both been trying to do way better with the diets, and we don't eat past a certain time of night, and trying to cut out, we don't fry a bunch of foods, but every so often then I'll have a week where I just like, all right, no fried foods for a week, things like that. But it's the self-discipline it takes to actually get to those levels of cutting something out like that. Like you said, I can almost see people cutting out some of the kind of meats or things like that, because you can.
But once you do it once, it becomes easy to do it with other stuff. Because for a minute, I didn't feel like I could do anything. Like, I didn't feel like I could stop. Man, you know how many Polish boys and rib dinners I ate in my life? I have not had a Polish boy, a pork chop, a rib dinner, a steak, a hamburger in. I'm talking about, we might be talking about pandemic time, pre-pandemic, man. It's been a minute since I've had any red meat, but once I started doing that, it became easier, and then it went over into like, I stopped drinking 2 liters. Like, I would go buy a 2 liter of ginger ale. I would drink half of that shit with lunch, and then half of it with dinner. Like, that's how much pop I would drink.
That's a lot.
And so now I'm not drinking any pop, but before because like now I do my tart cherry juice every day. I do some sugar in there or something because you got to keep sugar in your diet. You know what I mean? Just very, 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 very small amounts. And I know I'm all over the place, but again, the sickness helped with two aspects. It helped with the cravings the first couple days. I didn't have any. I didn't crave any food until Thursday. So from like Friday, for like 7 straight days, I didn't have any craving for a meal. I just ate to get full. Yeah. So that helped me. I was like, in my mind, I would have been drinking water anyway because the juice would have tasted like sweet water. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I would have only tasted the sweetness of it and not the actual flavor. And so that helped. And then like I was talking to this lady at work and this white lady was talking about, are you having headaches and stuff? Because I guess people have headaches, but I was taking so much sinus medicine. Right. I never experienced any headaches. Yeah. So I might have got through the roughest part of it because I was sick. Because any of that I haven't experienced. And it's been, I'm trying to get to a point, I know, like I've been so hurting joint-wise with knees and ankles and feet type stuff, it'd be hard to get into the gym every day. And I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I got to totally commit. Mm-hmm. I can't halfway commit. Mm-hmm. I used to do that shit in college where I would work out hard, but I would eat Popeyes. It's almost counterproductive.
So you're never seeing any changes that could be
because we were younger and our metabolism was higher. I would see some stuff. Yeah, but it wouldn't be what it could be. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have been Dewan Smith. Remember Dewan with the show? Yeah. Dewan was a brick house. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude was ripped. Like I could have been that, but I would eat a burger and then go work out, and that's just
that's how younger people think, though. Yeah, it's hard to get younger people to make the link between where you need to be or where you're trying to get to and what you need to do because your mentality is like you said, metabolism is so high, you burning it off anyway. Yeah, so it don't even really matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Yeah, I get it.
So yeah, man. So that's it. Trying to be intentional and really commit to stuff. So yeah, I mean, I don't really see it shifting. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be whatever. I just you can enjoy other shit in life. You know what I mean? I think I feel the same way about pH that I feel about burgers. I've eaten enough. Mm-hmm. I've watched enough.
I've seen you do it with one of the funniest things like you can sit up here and be like, yo, I ain't really sipping no more. I ain't really drinking no more. And you won't touch it for months. And then you might have a drink. And then for maybe a month, you be like, all right, I'm going to have a couple drinks or something like that. And then it'd be like another 8 months that you'd be like, yo, I ain't drinking that. Like you literally could cut shit off and be done with it. Yeah.
It's a toxic trait, but it helps in some stuff. Mm. And other stuff is a horrible trait, but in other stuff, I really
shit. It's a bottle of goddamn Espolòn sitting over there that ain't moved in like
this might be Christmas.
Yeah.
I think I brought this shit up here during Christmas break.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least 2 to 3 months. Yeah, it's been sitting over there. Because I was gonna touch it one day.
Tap it one time.
Hey man, he looked a little lonely over there in the corner. Yeah. It was cold in the winter. Hey, I was gonna, but yeah.
But yeah, man. So, but how was your week?
I said it was shit, nothing. Yeah. I mean, 2 weeks, but like, I mean, but nothing crazy. Carlisha was gone for work for like basically, I would say 2 days total, but it was like left on like halfway through Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Was going all down Thursday and then back halfway on going all down Wednesday and then back halfway on Thursday. But it's like, so that was the first time, just her being gone and like me being at home and stuff like that. So that was like a different feel of things, but yeah, I mean, nothing big, we get to look at basically like a house a week right now because the Mayfield Heights market is so terrible.
Yeah.
Made a couple offers on some houses over the last couple weeks. That's about it.
Niggas just living, man.
Yeah, that's about it. It's literally just, I was telling you before the show, crunch time, and it's just, it's tomorrow's May 1st, and so we got 2.5 months to our wedding, and you sit at home and you everything is sitting right now. What do you need to do? You need to do a seating chart, or you need to talk to these, or you talk to some people, and it's like, you know, and it's, you know, and you got to have a conversation about a plus one, or you got to have a conversation about somebody that has a kid that maybe wants to come. And it's like, you got to have these tough conversations. And
people should know, don't bring your kid to the wedding, man.
You would think for a lot of people, it's one of those things where it's like, you would think people want to have kind of an adult night, you know, one night
common
away from
courtesy.
the kids, but it's just, it ain't like that, especially when it comes to family sometimes. You know, family, everybody feels like they should be able to bring, you know, their kid, and it's like, okay, it don't work that way.
Yeah.
It really don't work. So it's just, you know, the wedding party is one thing, because obviously y'all have given a lot to be in a wedding party. So yeah, if you have kids or something like that, we understand it. That's one separate thing. Outside of that, other than immediate family, my brothers with their kids and something like that, it's just, it's tough to be like, all right, you can do it.
Common courtesy, people don't bring kids to the wedding. I mean, that's just... it should be common. Well, when you live in a house with Leah, gonna come. She might pull up to everybody's house and give them do's and don'ts. Don't bring your kids. Leah put them out.
Yeah.
I mean, reception is different. I guess.
Once the
wedding ceremony should be adults.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, but I just feel like everybody should want. And I'm not saying we've had a problem, like people have argued us down, nothing like that. But I just almost feel like you almost should kind of want one evening. Like if you're a couple, you're married, and it's like, you know, one night to go out and just be like, all right, we're going to go have an adult evening. It's a wedding. We're going to have fun at the reception, and we'll go home, you know, and the kid will be home when we get home, or we'll go pick them up tomorrow morning, you know. But so those types of questions are rolling in, and, you know, we already kind of preliminarily, if that's the word, preliminary. I don't know.
Preliminary.
Yeah, you know, I want to kind of put a little extra on it, but, you know, but trying to, you know, kind of in our mind go through a seating chart of where we're going to put people and, you know, stuff like that. You know, the invitations go out in like 2.5 weeks. Invitations go out, you know, and, you know, they always say 20% of people you invite don't come. So we hoping that holds true, because we're over what we thought. You know, initially when we first started, we put our numbers in for it. So we hope. So anybody out there that doesn't want to come, if you want to send your love by way of gift or check or cash,
for
we
real,
appreciate y'all. But because it's expensive. As much as we keep talking about it, and I hate to talk about it on the show, but it's expensive, man. Yeah. So, but that's pretty much it. That nothing crazy with work. You know, I'm enjoying how things are going with work, trying to, you know, expand some things to the job and dip my toes into a few different things, and try to gain a little bit more experience. And you know, because I keep looking at life right now and looking at the figures I want to make, appreciative of where I'm at right now, but looking at the figures I want to get to, and knowing that I got to get some different experience with some things. And then some of these jobs I look at every now and then where it's like, all right, if I can get this experience of working with these people, that's going to be a really good resume builder, you know. And then, you know, that target I got in mind might not be that far-fetched. Yeah. So that's literally it right now. My mind is so focused. I told you before the show where, you know, I understand where you come from sometimes, where it's just, I'm getting into that mind state right now where it's just, it's about me and the people that's in this house at home. Yeah, and it's not about being rude to nobody. It's not about being, at all.
Because everything you do is just a pause on what's going on there.
Yeah,
everything.
Because that just takes that takes precedent over everything else.
That's where your commitment is to.
Yeah,
I had to do some work yesterday because we're literally rewriting our like handbook. It's called our playbook, but we're rewriting our culture playbook. And so, you know, you got to like come up with, what is the school vision? What is it? Like, and then once you come up with the school vision, what subcategories you break it down to? And then what do those subcategories mean? Like, you're literally, what do you want the school to look like? And then how do we make it happen? Yeah. So we had to like have a brainstorming session and you know, note taking and you know, the beginning of writing. And then we started writing some of it, a good chunk, especially the vision, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, like I told you, I was sick last week. Now the house is sick. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I didn't pass whatever I got to the house. And so the entire time I'm there, it's like, all right, we got to get this done. But when I got to get to the store because I got to get medicine because my wife and daughter's at home sick.
Yeah.
And while this is important, it's important enough to be doing work on the weekends.
You still got to go home and take care of
that still is, thank y'all, but okay, we done? Because I got to get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. Well,
yeah. So it's all coming together, man. It's just, I honestly can't wait until August is here. It's like everything could be passed, and now you just start with everything else. Yeah. So we'll see.
Well, I just want real quick. I guess we do this a lot. We'll pull something from social media. We spend a lot of time on social media, obviously. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't want to turn into a segment, but it really is kind of like, what's going on social media.
I almost feel like we can have a segment every single week that just says, what do we see?
Because everything I got right now today is from some stuff. I'm going to start off with this. I don't even know who this rapper is. Mm-hmm. I also don't understand why black people lie the way they do. Never understood it. I'm going to play this video. I need you to listen closely to this young black gentleman here, who is telling non-truths.
He's fibbing.
Okay. Take a listen and let me hear what you got to say.
Okay.
I ain't go to college, but I turned it down.
Oh.
Yeah, I turned it down just to do this, just to grind from the rap.
So you had an opportunity to do the drumming thing.
Yeah, scholarship and everything.
Where at?
I think it was like in Jacksonville. Yeah, a big band in Jacksonville. It was a big college though, and they offered me like 15, some shit like 10 million or something like that, 5 million, something like that.
Wait. 15. I'm sorry.
Scholarship.
What?
Okay, but not $5 million. They offered you $5 million to play the drum.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here?
Like what the fuck y'all like? You know what I'm saying? But I was so younger, like.
Wait. Are you sure they offered you $5 million?
I turned it down. It was a scholarship. Like I had to go to school for this decade.
What?
$5 million?
Yeah, it was somewhere. It was in the millions though.
Listen, man. It obviously worked out because where'd you go to college?
I like the way he kept changing the dollar amount.
I turned it down.
Oh.
Yeah, I turned it down just to do this, just to grind from the rap.
So you had an opportunity.
Let's listen to it one more time.
Yeah, scholarship and everything.
Where at?
I think it was like in Jacksonville.
That's when he started lying.
Yeah, a big band in Jacksonville. It was a big college though, and they offered me like 15, some shit like 10 million or something like that, 5 million, something like that.
Wait.
A scholarship.
Okay, but not $5 million. They offered you $5 million to play the drum.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here?
Like what the fuck y'all?
Fuck are you doing here? The realest question ever asked in life.
Hey, why? One of the comments said, "Tell me you don't know nothing about college without telling me you don't know." Ain't nobody offered you $15 million to go play in a band in college, brother.
No. Let's just be honest, because I had to pull it up here. All right, so Jacksonville, I know, only party. All right, if you're talking about somebody being a drum major or something, it's like it's got to be an HBCU. I can't remember if Jacksonville State is HBCU or not. I can dig into it, but they're not.
It's not.
Okay,
my coach is a coach there.
Okay, they're not an HBCU. Okay, all right. So that's the only thing. Whatever. There's nobody offering you that much money. Like we're not talking sports in a transitional player that they offer. We know they offer money in sports. Like I've been in the HBCU campus. You got to fucking apply for these scholarships and stuff like that. They don't just hand them shits out. Or like period. Like there's nothing at HBCU. There's no person walking the face of this goddamn earth that the HBCU is gonna give you that much money to sit here and say we're gonna have you be a drum major. Like get the absolute fuck out of here. There's no sports players that give you 20, 15,
10, 5 million.
Nothing.
When the nigga said it was in Jacksonville, big school. First of all, ain't no big colleges in Jacksonville.
Not at all.
And whenever nigga he's get the scratching right here. The right up under the ear?
Yeah.
Whenever shit, it was like
I think it's in Jacksonville somewhere.
That nigga said 15, like 10 million.
He kept
like
going down.
The
funniest part was homie asked like,
then homie was like, what? He was like,
fuck you doing here? Fuck you doing here? Fuck you doing here then? Hey, come on, man. Let's be honest about this
Man,
whole
I can't
situation here.
stand people, man.
Let's be honest about the whole situation
The
here.
nigga said I had to go to school for the decade. Nigga, what? What are you talking about, man?
Would you go to school for 20 mil for 10 years?
Hell yeah! I'll be that bitch book bag on, glasses with the tape in the middle. You hear me? Come on, man. This guy's a liar. The comments, man, was the greatest shit ever. Somebody put a lie don't care who tell it. Man, listen, man. They said 15 mil, 10 mil to 5 mil. I had to go to this college for a decade. New air don't make a cap that big. Listen, tell the truth, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't play that until the show started. That is the illest.
They said, I guess you just woke up and won the lot today.
I'm trying to think who Big Boogie is. I googled him real quick. I'm like, do I know a song that he made?
Never.
They said Big Boogie pop out, but I'm like, it's the song I'm thinking about. Was that really from 2021?
I ain't never heard.
All right, I'm gonna have to do this.
Oh, he commented on here and said, "Go on, Lil Duval. I was high. I just said some shit." Yeah, I know you did.
Yo, yeah, he was high as shit.
I know you did, brother. Because whatever you said was a lie. I don't think I've laughed as hard at something in my life. Because I wasn't anticipating that. When I'm like, oh, he lying. My man said he made 15, maybe 10, maybe $5 million, man. You know what I'm saying?
Dog. Nah. I'm really trying to see if this is the song I'm thinking about. I'm really, I gotta hit play on this real quick. Is this the song I'm thinking about?
Well, let's see.
Let me see. Okay, yeah. Okay. Is this the same Big Boogie? This the joint right? Well, it ain't the joint right now, but it was for a second. You don't listen to you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know shit about it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so I don't know.
You think they could have paid him $10 million?
Fuck no. No. But I needed to know if that was the same dude. I needed to know. That's why I had to find a song real quick. Yeah, come on, Boogie. Okay. You know what that remind me of? Kingston Comedy.
Yeah.
Come on up, Boogie. Don't nothing about you say computer or yeah. Come on now, Boogie.
Come on, Big Boogie.
Come on, man.
Big lying ass, man.
Come on, Boogie. That ain't it, Boogie. That you got to stop that, Boogie.
Oh man, I don't know if you saw this, man. Like we say, it's always some stuff from the internets and Googles, man. I figured this would be something fun for us to talk about, given our accelerated age out here in these streets. Okay. Let me see if this. Yeah, that's how it's. Oh no, that's going to the next thing. I don't want to go to the next thing. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So it says basically, so we're technically millennials, or we right on the edge. But dude was talking about I'm part of a special group of millennials I like to call the Bridge. We're the group people don't talk about, but I'm about to talk about it real quick. And we are the Bridge generation. Mm-hmm. And we have probably the most unique view of life currently.
Okay.
Because we let me click. Like, we experience like Nintendo, Sega Genesis CDs, Nokia phones, Windows Paint, Yahoo Chat, iPods, and LimeWire. Like, we were the first kids with email. We knew and grew up with the greatest Mikes, Jackson, Jordan, Johnson, Tyson. Like, my brothers are in their 50s.
Okay.
Them and their friends, like my oldest brother played games. He liked video games, but for the most part, that generation didn't play Nintendo.
They didn't go through it the way we did because they might be.
They was a little too old.
They might be ColecoVision.
Yeah, they're ColecoVision age.
Okay.
So they're too old for it. Like, we had we had like the TV you click and turn to get to channel 3, 5, 8, 19, and 43.
And for a video game, you had to
screw the shit in the back.
To the back of it, yeah.
And we now play games in 4K.
And we stream games.
Yeah, we
stream. We don't have to buy the actual game.
Like my computer I got at the crib, I can just download 2K and play that shit on it.
Yeah.
Like we experienced like
both sides.
Like my brothers experienced house phones and cell phones, but in my house as a teenager, like I think I got my first phone like 18 or 19. Like, I went from no computer to a Windows computer in my father's little office. Like, we are part of that generation to go from like no caller ID to caller ID. Like we
We've gone from not being able to know where people were to knowing where people are at all
Yeah.
hours. At
And it
every minute of
happened
the
like
day.
in our developmental years, to the point that like not only did we master turning the TV with the pliers, we also mastered HGTV and like streaming a podcast on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a weird generation that we're a part of, man. And I saw this post and I'm like, this is so doggone true. Like watching VHS tapes and making mixtapes off the radio was still a thing. We knew life before the last technological advances of the last 25 years. But we were also the first group with home PCs and internet and saw the evolution of both.
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird generation, man. Like the last group to really play outside with the kids down the street. You know what I mean? Penny candy was actually a penny. Like,
It's a lot
I
of
used
stuff
to, on the
going
way
out
to
the window.
Kirk, I would play a quarter at that store at the corner
Right.
in between
Where
Knowles and
I'm about to say right where the
the rug store is.
yeah.
And I would get 25
Almost where
fruities.
City Hall is. We
Yep.
used to go there too. That was like one of the last penny candy
Penny, like,
stores in the city.
actually, penny, you would get
Yeah,
25 fruities,
yeah.
or you could get 25
And they put in like
of
a
the
little
straws.
It was almost like you took saran wrap and just roll it up around 25 pieces of candy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you would have the blue sticks that you put in,
straws.
the straws, and they would have a rubber band around it.
Yeah.
You get 25 straws for a quarter.
Yeah.
Like, we are literally, it's crazy, man.
So what's our role in this? Because you look at this one right here. It says the bridge is responsible for the shifting culture around the world. You know, yada yada. We change the rules or whatever. It's like, what is our responsibility? Like, do we have a responsibility to, as that bridge, look at the people behind us and let them know about these ways, because they don't give a shit about it,
They
because
don't.
they got their fucking phone. Like,
Yeah.
they don't give a
Yeah.
shit about it. They got everything that they want. I don't even say that they need, but it's need too. But they got everything they want in the palm of their hand. So, but do we need to let them know about it some, or what?
I think, I mean, I think it's those experiences aren't going to die. We're the last generation those experiences are going to die with. So we do have a responsibility of, I guess, informing people or just letting the younger generation know how good they have it. But yeah, I mean, I think that's about it. We got to let people know how good they do have it, because we do remember. I remember having no internet to having
The dial-up, yeah. I remember having the only TVs in the house was in my mama's room and downstairs in the main room. To the
TVs in every
people
room.
grow up in the house now, and it's weird if you have a room that don't have a TV. Even if it's a guest room that the TV never fucking comes on, there's a
But there'll
goddamn
be a
TV in the room.
there. It's so crazy, man. It's so insane. Like, we used to go to the Radio Shack, and I don't know what they would just. You could always
Radio
get free.
Shack itself is enough. It's
Radio
enough to
Shack
say that.
itself.
To say that in itself is
Damn.
enough to say Radio Shack, which is out of business because technology has pushed way past it.
Yeah, everything you can just get it from. You
Yeah.
can just get it from Amazon.
Yeah.
But they would have the free 7-day trials of AOL online, and you would just like. I don't understand how they make money on AOL online. You would never have to pay for it. You would just get the little CD-ROM, put it in there, and then you have it for 7 days.
I think most people probably got tired of doing it. It's almost like
Shit.
it's almost
Not,
like the
not Petty James Reed, boy. We kept an AOL CD-ROM.
It's almost like with the like the streaming services these days, DirecTV, all of them, whatever. For it was a good stretch of a amount of time when financially it just wasn't hitting for me. So I was creating email accounts weekly.
DJ Brainstorm 5U. DJ Brainstorm 6U.
But you laughing, but it's literally what I
DJ
did.
Rainstorm. You know what I'm saying?
And, bruh,
I know what you mean.
It was, and I was creating them shits every week and getting free.
Shit.
Cause I ain't had the money,
Yeah,
bruh.
yeah.
Bruh,
crazy.
I got at least 40, 50, 60 aliases out there. I ain't had the money, man. I ain't have it.
Yo, that's funny.
So it's the
man.
same thing, but it was easier to do it at home than to actually go out to the store and grab the AOL CDs and do it though.
That's funny as hell, man.
So I get that.
Yeah.
I am Petty James Reed with that.
You know what I'm saying? That was just crazy to think about how we went from, like, you know, when we first started watching TV, it was floor models, you know.
The big ass
TV. We sitting in front of it, eating cereal in the mornings, to like, I'm having to teach my parents how to DVR something. Like, we know both. It's weird. Like, you either grew up with, like, my brothers and them just grew up without it. They never had a cell phone. Like, that was never a part of it.
But when they got it, they was actually grown.
It was grown, like 30 grown. Like, we was like almost like 17, 18, 19 grown.
I was 16, 17. I got my first pager.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know.
So. You was out here standing on the corner straight slanging
let me tell you having a pager. And let me tell you, I got a pager and my mama never knew I had it. It's like somebody that I knew, one of our homies, worked with his mom doing cleaning offices or whatever. So I guess he was looking through drawers one day and they had a bunch of pagers probably that they gave out to their employees. Oh, okay. Had the numbers on it. Because remember, you buy a pager, they would pull the sticker off with the number on it. Yeah. He would take them. He gave me a pager. The bitch was on for months.
For real?
Months. I'm in school, shirt up on with the pager showing. Ain't nobody paging me. But I got, you got to show the pager in school. Oh, man. Oh, hell yeah. You walking around like this. What's going on?
What's up with you?
I had the pager showing. Yeah.
Oh shit, I done fucked up.
Damn sure had it showing. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, that's how it worked back in the day.
Yeah. It's just crazy, man. But just seeing that, man.
But I get what you're saying, though. Yeah. We are that bridge group where they look at us funny. And because we talk about how things used to be and all this stuff, but it's like you said, we are the best of both worlds in that sense, because we grew up with one phone in the house, a long ass cord on the phone, and you drag that phone all the way through the house and things like that. Or
when you got your phone installed in your room, it was curtains.
And that's And that's why I'm kind of like as I am with Amir being a homeowner, it's just like I don't talk about it, but it's like it's one of these things where it's like, this is a luxury. It's not guaranteed. Like you are, I understand that you are born into an era where everybody has a TV in their room and everybody has this. Like, that's still earned though. Bro, that ain't a given. Like people work hard to get to this point.
My daughter ain't had her phone in 2 weeks just because her and her friends is people not texting what they supposed to and wild shit for fourth graders. Let me get that up off you. I don't
even want to know what fourth graders is talking about.
Yeah, man. Let me get that up off you.
We done seen, I guess, in a sense, what sixth graders is talking about. Yeah. I don't care about.
Probably about to say, you know what I'm saying? Let me get that up off you. Nobody know what they talking about. Don't nobody know what they talking about. Everybody just don't even know how to cuss. But let's get that from you. Let's let you understand how much
you're gonna learn your lesson today.
Oh, you're gonna learn today. So it's been weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Since this weekend.
But like I said, it's a luxury.
Yeah.
I think, but I also think that's where we also have to adjust to in that sense, because it's like, even though they do need to know it's not a given, we do still have to understand that this is still it's their reality. We have worked hard. Like if we were people that was grown and struggling, we didn't do our job growing up and putting ourselves in a position to be successful. I'm not saying that TVs is that expensive, but it's like, again, a house with a TV in every goddamn room.
Yeah, it's wild.
You ever seen what is it? The Back to the Future. Which one is it? Where it might be the first one when he's in the house. It's the first one where he was talking. Oh yeah, we got 2 TVs, and it's like nobody has 2 TVs or whatever. It's just like it's just. The thing that's normal to them and second nature is not reality. And so we got to walk a fine line of being like, all right, cool. Appreciate this and understand this, that this is, it's not what you're just supposed to have, but also be thankful for it. Be thankful. It's just, it ain't, people work hard to get here over the years.
Yeah.
All right. I will say, I thought about you specifically this week because I was watching, Paco sent me a link to Usher's interview. He was on with Big Boy, I guess, last week, and he was joking, talking about our hairlines on the show, the crispy hairlines. Even though mine is looking back, bruh. I told my mom yesterday because she keeps saying that I'm letting my hair grow out and stuff. I'm like, I'm really not. It's just the fact that I ain't got to go in the office.
Yeah.
Like when you ain't got to go in the office regularly, and even when we on Zoom, 90+% of the time, I ain't got to turn my camera on right now. I ain't got to be in a big rush to get my hair cut right now. But I know what he was saying with the hairline thing or whatever with the Usher thing. But I'm watching their interview and I'm looking around their studio space, and they got the headphones on with the big boy emblem on it, and they got the microphone flash stuff like that. And I'm thinking like man, all these little things that add up when you're doing a show, especially when it's visual. It's some of the shit. Well, we wasn't doing none of that shit. But then you came on almost 5 years ago, whatever it is now, and it's like we got the little microphone pops, the flash and stuff like that. We had the stuff behind us. We went into even at my house, we had the banner behind us and stuff like that. We went to the studio. We hooked the first studio up. You came. We did all the stuff in here with all the stuff in the background. I'm just like, man, I started thinking about the steps of how we started and just changing stuff, and like a lot of that stuff started with you and when you came on and stuff like that. But probably because of your radio background, and y'all might have had that in the studio up there, and we was just sitting at home doing. I mean,
it was from college. It was just branding, like the broadcast communication. So like if you're gonna do it, you got to brand it. So
Yes, I thought about that, and then also obviously it's I put the stuff up on our page this week because it was Friday was 5 years from our Popalooza thing, our 100th episode, and it was just. Because what happened too was Paco called me on Friday. He was talking about how one of the homies in Dallas had called him and was talking about. I guess he was getting the Facebook memories that popped up, and I was like, and I knew it was coming up, but it was just like it's just the just looking at everything we've done over all these years or whatever. And I know everything has a shelf life. Everything we doing, the whole pods and everything. A lot of those shows, a lot of those people that pulled up on us out there aren't even still doing shows. I'm looking like that was 100 episodes. We 5 weeks away from 350, and it's just so I was really looking back and being reflective this week and really being appreciative about a lot of the stuff. That's why I hate that people ain't here today, but really being appreciative about what we've done and what we've accomplished over these years. And it's just like, and it's so funny where it's just like for the longest we always, and it's nothing personal with Paco, obviously, because we were just talking on Friday. It's like, but for the longest, Paco was associated with the show. But it's like, to be honest, you're way more associated with the show than Paco is because of the fact that you've been here way longer. You've been here for 5 fucking years in the show.
It's crazy to say that, man. It's crazy.
I mean, I understand. It's nothing funny about it because we started the show. The three of us started the show, but it's like, but you more so associated with it now because you 5 years into the show, and like I said, and then all the stuff we've done with it, and it's like, so I kind of was reflective this week because it just looking back at the video that the homie had shot, from us doing a 100 episode and stuff, and it's just like man, we've come a long way. We got so many things we could do if we want to stick with it and do things. We got a lot of stuff we can do. I do not feel like pod and R&B is dead.
No, it's not.
I do not feel like it's dead.
Just life for the recently. I mean, things happen, and in the moment, it feels like everything. You know what I mean? Like I remember, you talking about anniversary. Like I was trying to talk to some people at the work spot. Like it felt like the worst thing in the world. I'm only 9 months out of surgery, man.
Which funny because it feels like it was well over a year ago.
Yeah, I'm only 9 months out.
You ain't even made it a year yet.
Yeah, I ain't made it a year yet. So, but in those moments, it feels like forever.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that shit feels like. So we've been, we didn't have some shit. Life been shifting for people since maybe November, and it happens, man. So you look back on this little 6 month stretch, 7 month stretch. And you know what I mean? It's a blip on the radar. It's to me it reminds me of relationship shit. Like there's periods and times, June 12th, June 12th, June 11th, 2023 will be 12 years. You know what I'm saying? What's 6 months? Like that'll be 12 years married for me.
Yeah.
6 months. We've had some hellified 6 months.
Yeah.
At times. You know what I'm saying? So in the grand scheme of things, it's like in the moment it can feel like, oh man, this is crazy. But sometimes shit happens, man.
When it's because people gotta understand, like everything that goes on up here is a relationship. It is. We see each other weekly.
Yeah.
Multiple times a week sometimes. And this is a relationship up here. And I want to build on that point, but I do want to just real quick before I close that part out, just say just real quick, just the because it is that 5-year anniversary, just the way I shouted people out online, just still saying thank you and stuff like that to all those people, all those states and everything, and from Dallas, Georgia, VA, Indy, Philly, Vegas, Cali, and stuff like that. Everybody that came through and pulled up, it was a grand time. I talked to Paco, and we was just like, yo, like there's something else that's got to come out of that, and we'll put our minds together. We definitely figure that shit out. But building on that part too, it's just when you look at the relationship things and stuff, or the aspect of things, it's like every now and then I see Michelle Obama do an interview with some stuff or sit down with some people. And I know recently she was sitting down with somebody within the last few weeks, and it was a video clip out there about her talking about her marriage again with Barack, obviously. And she was talking about how, I forgot how many years they've been together, obviously 20 plus. But, you know, she was talking about how, there are some years that, she was saying, like, there's some years that things are bad. Yeah. And she was just, and I actually understood what she was saying. You know, when you look at comments is always the wild, wild west. Yeah. But, you know, she's talking about there are years that things could be bad, you know, and it could be this and it could be that, but you stick with it and all these different things. And you look in the comments and people are like, well, shit, I don't care. I don't want, if we together 20 years, I don't want 5 bad years or something like that or whatever. And it's just like, I don't feel like she was saying that, all right, we had 5 years in a row that was bad. If you had 5 years in a row that was bad, we probably gonna bail. But in that stretch of time, like you said, 3 years might be a little stretch, but something was just off. Maybe something happened in life. Maybe somebody lost a job and that caused extra strain in the house. Maybe a kid was sick and that caused extra strain in the house. Maybe y'all just wasn't seeing eye to eye. Like you said, even up here since November, shit has happened where it's like, don't nobody up here hate nobody, nothing like that. But it's like, it's just every now and then stuff is just maybe just a little bit more restrained. And it's just like, but do you bail or do whatever? And I felt what Michelle was saying, but I don't think everybody gets that. And that's probably one of the reasons why relationships a lot of times nowadays kind of fail, because people think that it's supposed to be 100%.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sunny skies all the time. And even if they understand in their mind that, okay, it's going to be some bad times, like it's almost like, it's like knowing the Cavs wasn't supposed to make a deep playoff run, but watching them get their ass fucking handed to them,
you gotta change
in
something.
5 days or
you
whatever.
You gotta change something.
Yeah. And it's like, you got to be like, all right, I know what it was supposed to be, or I knew what I thought it was supposed to be. And it's like, but yeah.
It's what happens when we lean. I mean, not to get whatever, but it's what happens when we try to put our own understanding into something. It is for better or for worse. It doesn't say for better 75% of the time, and then worse, you're gonna do 25% worse. If in those 20 years you got over 25% bad times, you got to. That's not what it says, man.
Yeah,
it's not what it says. For better or for worse.
Yeah,
through sickness and in health, it's for better or for worse, and you got to. The problem, it is always joke. We always laugh because he put it under everything, but it's this dude, Funny Marco. But under anybody video, no matter what it is on Instagram, he'll put it's a mindset thing, because that's what he say all the time in his videos. But it really is a mindset thing to always look at negatives as a negative. That sounds crazy to say out loud, probably. But if you're in the business of changing something or growing with something or building something, a negative is just something that you need to improve. That's all it is. Negative shouldn't be deterrence ever if you're building something. Like, we wouldn't be sitting down on Saturdays trying to rewrite our school handbook or school culture playbook if everything was perfect. Because you know what we got to do? We had to sit down and identify what are the 2 things that we need to improve. It's the whole point. So every negative, so them 5 years of
evaluation.
Yeah, them 5 years of difficulty does not mean both people are difficult or both people are bad or both people need to be single or broken up with. That was 5 years that y'all need to figure the fuck out. And on the flip side, I will take 1 year, like to put it back to work wise, I'll take 1 year of trying to figure some shit out and it not being right for it to be really good for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that mindset, then relationships probably aren't for you, Miss Comment Person. Because that's the whole game.
Yeah.
That's the game. The game is let's identify the problems. Let's do what we need to do to fix it. And we're going to do this shit together. Ready, break. That's the game. That's the game plan. Like, I don't know what else anybody is trying to, what dreams they trying to sell people or what, but that's the game, man. It's always going to be the game.
Life is just fucked up now, man. You know, and it's not to say everybody should be together. I'm not advocating for that at all. If you, again, in the same example, if you did have 5 straight bad years, okay, then maybe y'all shouldn't be together. If you have 5,
I mean, it's still a maybe.
But if it's
still
20,
a maybe.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But if it's 20, and it's like, okay, you had stretches that add up to 5, then you maybe not. But it's just, I mean, so I get that.
I mean, I get it in the context of human emotion. I do, because I'm a human and I got emotion. But the problem it's like, know what you're getting yourself. So, all right, you're right. You're 100% right. You're also 100% wrong. I'm right and I'm wrong. What I mean is we're dealing with this right now at our school. There's certain ways kids should or shouldn't talk to you. It's right. It's a fact.
Yeah.
They should not talk to you like this. But when you take a job on 93rd and Union, you need to understand what you're walking into.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to deal with it, that's cool, man. You can go apply for a job in Solon. But if you walk into a school building around here, you better be able to deal with some shit that your little emotions aren't, your feelings are going to be hurt.
Yeah.
The trauma some of the kids are coming from, the relationships they have with their own parents, with their own adults. You might be a part of a group, meaning the teachers and staff at a school. You might be the only adults in their life they can't cuss around. You might be the only ones. And you're walking around here like that's disrespectful. In your world, that's disrespectful. In their world, this is how they get down, baby. Like, this is what they do.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, like, you're right, but the vows say for better or for worse. So if you're dealing with worse, the commitment is the job, not the results. The commitment is the job. Now, you got to figure out how to get the best results. If you having 5 bad years and you ain't been to nobody's therapy, you ain't had no productive conversations with nobody, you ain't did something, you got to do something. Because the commitment, you took the commitment. Now, you took a commitment and the job requirements say, hey, in this job is for better and it's for worse. That's the job.
Yeah,
you can't get in and be like, hey, this shit got some bad in it. Nigga, it was we told you in the job description.
Yeah.
The fuck you thought this was? It's weird because, like, as soon as y'all get married, you reach this, it's like this, I'll never forget, we had our reception. Let's say we got married in Vegas. We had our reception back here.
Yeah.
And, like, her aunts and stuff was cooking, bringing in the food for the reception. And, like, you become one of the men in the family. So very weird. When you're not married to when you are married, you become like one of the dudes to one of the men in the family. Her daddy shake your hand different. Her uncle talk about like the Bengals and Browns game. But look, you one of the men in the family now. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of this changes. This all changes. Like, the pressure changes, the responsibility, because they feel like no matter what, this dude gonna be with my family member forever.
Yeah.
So it changes.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but like, I'll never forget that night and the like kind of respect they were giving me because I was now Leah's husband. That's why it was different. It just felt different. It wasn't just like, it was like, don't touch that. Don't get your own plate. It was just different.
It's like you come around now. And it's like they like you.
Yeah.
And they always treat you. They always treat you with respect and stuff
different.
like that. Yeah. So I get it.
It's different. And so now, if the environment is different and the expectations is different, then your execution of the mission got to be different, man. You got to put on some different glasses. You can't tuck and run. Like, they respect you because they know what you about to deal with. They know the commitment you just made. Like, anyway.
No, I feel you.
if shit going left, we got to try to do everything we can to try to turn the tide. We ain't gonna be perfect all the time. We ain't gonna always get that shit right, and that's why you end up with months and weeks and sometimes years of issues. But it's still your job to try to turn the tide somehow, some way. Get off these Instagram comments, commenting how much, you know what I'm saying, about how bad it is.
People be mad at
something
Michelle
shit.
sometimes, like, oh, she talking about this. It's like, well,
She telling the
guess
truth.
what? They seem to have a pretty good marriage, and they couldn't have been.
Yeah.
Ain't none of the shit we going through right now could be more stressful than your husband is the goddamn leader of the free world and running, and it's the first black president.
black
Like,
one.
come on,
And a black
man.
one. Come on now.
Come on. He used to be in the primaries when he was running the first time going into 2008, and I'm looking like, yo, they could take him out right now.
Yeah.
He'll get done with a debate and be shaking hands, and I just be sitting there watching like, God damn, a nigga could get
him out of there
right now.
Get him out of there
Right now.
That's what I'll be thinking. Get
And
him out of there.
think
Get him
about
off
Michelle
the
had to
stage.
deal with all of that, and that's her husband. We don't even know stories about, like, I've heard like one or two about him a couple times being on the elevator, coming into places, and people was on the elevator that shouldn't have been, the Secret Service dropping the ball. Probably because it's the first black president. They ain't gonna did they
ain't
drop
give
the
a
ball
fuck.
with Trump about that? Who knows? But dropping the ball, it's like people be on the elevator with him and they weren't supposed to be and stuff like that. Like you are this man's wife, and his life is on the line every goddamn day. As the first person that's doing this, it's like, and be like, okay, stress. We got to go into the White House and be perfect. Stress,
it's crazy.
and we got two little girls that we trying to raise in the public. God, stress.
It's crazy.
And we mad because this nigga didn't bring you nuggets home from McDonald's yesterday?
Yeah.
Because the spicy nuggets is back? You know the spicy nuggets is back, though.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm just saying in general, though. It's like, yo, so this what we mad about? Yeah, so I get it. Yeah.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Before we get, you got something?
No, go ahead.
Before we get up out of here, I know we're gonna get up out of here. I just had to play this. I know this ain't right. So I watched this video the other day. I just want to. I watched it. I can't. Okay, I'm gonna just click it and play it in a second. I watched it and I like read the. You're not gonna be able to see the what you call it, the status. And I read the status and I'm like, and I started watching the video and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna laugh. This was one of those like, don't laugh, you know what I'm saying? You going to hell type thing. So I'm like, oh, I started watching it. I went from like, this might be funny. Then I started watching at the beginning, and I'm like, oh man, come on, man, I ain't gonna laugh at this.
And then you started laughing.
I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna see if you going to hell or not, man.
Not supposed to laugh, but the harder you hold it, the worse it gets. Yeah. Brace yourself. I did.
I wish I'd never seen a cigarette in my entire life. I do believe that I wish I'd never ever seen one. My flesh took it up and smoked it.
I'm only laughing because of you right now. I'm only laughing because of you right now.
Listen. Oh, they couldn't even see the video, man. They couldn't see the video. I didn't click to it, man. Listen, brainstorm. I went from like, man, this ain't funny, bruh. And then the pause of the baby. Hold on, they couldn't see it.
You got to play that.
I got to play it one more time so they can see it, man. Oh, my God.
This video, you're not supposed to laugh.
Oh, Lord Jesus, it's
But
a
the
fire.
harder you hold it, the worse it gets. Yeah. Brace yourself. I did.
I wish I'd never seen a cigarette in my entire life. I do believe that I wish I'd never ever seen one. My flesh took it up and smoked it.
Yo, come on, man. Come on, man.
Hey, so I'm only laughing.
Oh, come on.
I'm only laughing because you laughing. Look, I'm like,
No, I watched it. I felt bad. I'm like, man, why they doing this to this lady, man?
yeah,
Like,
it's the smoking commercial. Yeah.
bruh, when they switched to that little baby, and
He said, rah.
I let out a laugh I ain't let out in a long time, man.
Yeah, nah. I'm only laughing because you laughing, man.
No, social media ain't no joke, man.
Social media is the it's the devil right now. It's our best friend and it's our worst friend and all that stuff. Even with I didn't get to ask you last week real quick. I didn't get to ask you last week about these videos we get to see nowadays. Because of like the shit that's happening in schools. Obviously, we work in the schools. I didn't get to ask you about that. These videos we
about
get to
this
see
all the time in school, man.
You know, where it's like, yeah, we know we're adults. Like we know we're not supposed to put our hands on. Because like, did you see the video last week of the lady, the substitute teacher? And stuff?
I watched it a
couple times.
That was before I changed my life.
Yeah, before that.
I watched it silent. I muted it.
Okay.
But
like, how do you feel about that? Where it's just like, it's a lot of people want to real quick. A lot of people want to say it's the kids, blame the kids, or not even like the parents and stuff like that. Is it just? Is it a combination of everybody real quick where it's just like we
no, it really is it really is a parent issue. There's an adult issue. The kids ain't the same and the teachers ain't.
Okay.
We are in a generation of like soft parenting some areas and soft society. Like, we had an interview interviewed this guy. He was like, I just wanted to let the kids know that, we're both growing and learning. Oh, no. You're a lick, sir. Don't ever tell these kids you don't know what you're doing.
Was he white or black?
White.
I just saw a meme on the way here.
Come on.
Where it's like black people, when you hear the story, I always got to ask if it's white or black.
Come on.
It make more sense to us.
Because I'm like, oh, no. Don't ever tell these kids that you just learning.
They smell it, don't they?
They smell it on them.
They smell that weakness.
Fresh fish.
It's blood in the water for a shark.
Oh, my God. So, like, but also, it's the perfect combination of softer teachers. Not all. Because we got you got really strong ones, but then you got some softer teachers, and then you got, like, legitimately, man, you have some kids who only had to watch their mouth at school.
Like you just said.
They don't got to watch their mouth nowhere else.
The only people they got to not cuss around.
They don't get checked nowhere else. So you come to a school that got rules and regulations, it's a problem because they not getting checked nowhere. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody checking them. And if they checking them, it's more they're being challenged outside of here. Like they're like parents beating them up, not like holding them accountable and expecting greatness. It's like for every wrong they do, it's like a consequence on some, like, get punched in the arm, punched in the chest, pushed down, like talk too crazy, as opposed to like a real, like, this is what the society expects of you. This is how you should conduct yourself. When you do this, I'm disappointed. I'm not even mad. None of that. Ain't nobody being, well, not nobody. There are a lot fewer kids being parented in that way. Mm-hmm. True parenting ways. And so they're coming into these schools and they're not used to being challenged by adults. They're not used to being checked. They're not used to following rules to a T. The parents are vouch for them, not following rules by sticking up for them and making excuses. So they just not. It's not the same. Mm-hmm. It's not the same at all. The teachers are in a bad spot. It is really it is a huge issue with the kids. Mm-hmm. A huge issue.
Do you feel like in that video, the one we talking about with the substitute, because a lot of people thought, I feel like most people were on her side for a change or whatever, because, it's, again, we ain't supposed to put your hands on the kids. Like, we, as adults, we understand that. I think we should put that part to the side.
But that part is not true.
Okay. I'll let you
like, it, in the way in which she did it is wrong. Like, she should not have, like, punched a kid. You shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You shouldn't. I could see if you wanted to defend yourself. I still would suggest against it because you can restrain. What should happen is a restraint. Like that's what should, in that moment, it's a messed up moment because it's only her. So the actual concept of not putting your hands on kids is not 100% accurate because there are times you'll have to restrain a kid. But usually that takes 2 adults. And in that situation, somebody should.
Like she was calling, like when the
somebody
video starts,
should have
she was
assisted.
on the phone, like she was calling to try to get some help to come down
there,
there.
you shouldn't put your hands on a kid in a fighting way. But there are going to be times where if that kid is preventing the immediate danger to the rest of the students, you got to restrain that kid.
Of course, yeah.
So,
or if they're hitting you, you have the right to protect yourself.
Yeah, protect yourself. I wouldn't say
not
square up, block, and then Javante Davis.
Not people's elbows. Yeah, okay, all right.
You know what I'm saying? But like,
so you're saying the Hulk Hogan leg drop is wrong? It's wrong in that situation.
Defensive stance, trying to stop him from hitting you till somebody arrives to help, but I ain't gonna like, hey, get up on me, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, that you shouldn't do that. Like, at that point, I'm turning my badge in, and I'm like, all right, this ain't for me.
Yeah, for me in that situation, I continue to give teachers and administrators, everybody that work in those schools, a lot of credit, just because it's just on a daily, especially depending on the level of school you're at. Like you said, like y'all may have more challenging students in the school that you're at or whatever. Like y'all knew what to do in every situation. When I did that dance with y'all, about a month or so ago, where it's like y'all knew. It's just like, all right, these kids gonna do this, they gonna do this, they gonna do that. Hey, stop the music real quick or whatever. It's just like y'all know how to whatever, and it's just I continue to commend y'all, but it's just I don't know if I could ever do it. Yeah, it's a thankless type of job, and
it really is, man. It really is.
And because of things now, like I said, because if you look at everything, like why was that? How was that recorded for social media?
Yeah.
You know, you go. To school,
every kid got a phone.
I know every kid, but you ain't supposed to have it out. But every kid has the phone though.
All it is they have it in their pocket. The thing happens, whip out, record. I mean, nowadays your phone don't even have to be open to hit the. You'll be open to hit the camera. You can hit the camera and the flashlight without your phone even being open. Yeah. So they record everything, man. It's a constant battle. It's a different world, man. And that's what it's so crazy. That's what we were just navigating through
and y'all
about 26 hours ago. You know what I mean? It's a different world. The world via
how do you
cell
adapt
phone,
and adjust?
Yeah. It's different, man. It's different. You got parents who on the, how I'm supposed to contact my kid? Man, what do you need an 11-year-old for at 10:30 in the morning? They got your keys? They got your car? What do you see them after school? Yeah. When the last time you had to talk to your kid at 10 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, like for that's a ridiculous argument. Now, if you say my kid needed to contact me in an emergency, we see the
but
stuff
he's
that happens
at
in schools and stuff like this.
We're like a building full of teachers and administrators. We'll call you if I promise you. If anything happens, I'll call you. Trust me. If they break their ankle, I'm gonna call you. Just calm down. But we don't have that. But
I'm saying, like, all right, I'm just talking about what the bigger things that's happening. If it's a shooter in the school and the kid, like you do, but you again in that situation, y'all still gonna get the alerts. Too. Yeah, I get it.
But I mean, at that point, please don't call your kid. If that's
happening. The last thing you need to be
doing. Like there's
your kid needs to not be on that phone trying to talk to you in that situation.
There's very few points in a school where the kid needs to be on the phone. I can't really think of any other than I've called your parent and you need to talk to them about what I've called them about. Other than that, all they're trying to do is get DoorDash from their mama. It is very when the crisis happens, I completely understand. We're gonna do what we can to make sure everything is right. 99.9% of the time, it's not a crisis, and that's what we have to prepare for. We're preparing your kids for 99.9% of the things they're going to see in the world. Yes, if we have a market collapse and there's no jobs in 2031 when they graduate from we can't prepare them for that. But for the job market that exists today, the high schools that exist and the colleges that exist, that's what we're going to prepare them for. We're not ever in the business of preparing them for this hypothetical doomsday scenario. So your kid can't have their phone out in school. You can send them to another school. That's where we at. Maybe somewhere else they let them have them out, but not here. They can't have their phone out.
Yeah, I get that. Nah, I mean, yeah, I get it.
So
in that situation, I don't think it's no schools that you just really get to have it out.
You'd
probably.
be surprised, man.
probably. You're right with that. All right. We're going to get out of here, man.
Yes, sir.
Again, obviously, y'all that's been watching and listening all day long, no Playboy, no Ulysses. I'm guessing everybody be back next week for episode 346 next week. Again, coming up on 350. So shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us throughout these years as we move towards 350. And that should be 400. So, all right, give them all your shits.
Man, like I always been saying recently, man, it's the Real Big Dev 216 everywhere. Do what needs to be done, whether you like it or not. See y'all next week.
All right, DMST16 at yahoo.com. Questions, comments, concern, feedback, all that good stuff. Show will be back next week, 6:30ish, live on Facebook, YouTube, as usual. And hopefully the whole crew will be here. So it may be cloudy today, but the sun will come out tomorrow. As long as you are here under the sun, live your life to the best of your motherfucking ability. I am DJ Brainstorm for you on all social media. DJ Brainstorm, the number 4, the letter
U.
And we out of here, man.
Better pay somebody about $3, $15, $10, $5 million.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. To be a drum major or something. I don't know, man. Hey, it's obviously out there, y'all. So give your kid an instrument.
Jesus Christ.
Because obviously the money's out there.
I can't stand lying.
Come on,
niggas.
Boogie.
Right.
If you heard him on that, if that's the same dude for Pop Out, if you hear what he said, how he raps on that song, it just all makes sense.
It all makes sense. Oh my God.
No, it makes sense that he said some shit like that.
Oh my God.
But whatever.
All right, man.
All right, man. We out of here, y'all. Peace, y'all. Peace.